Hey, this is Carla from the Butcher Babies.
This is George Corner Fisher from Cannibal Corpse.
Hey, this is Rex from Kill Devil Hill. It's Wednesday 13.
This is Dad from Devil Daddy.
This is Odorous from Quad. You're listening to RABID NOISE
on RABID Radio.
Turn it up.
And we're back on RABID NOISE. That was the title track from Venom's 14th studio album, From the Very Depths. And here to talk about the amazing new album and all things Venom is guitarist Rage. It's great to have you on the show tonight, man. What's happening?
Thanks, Nev. It's absolutely awesome to be speaking to you, other side of the world. I'm fine, just doing the usual on a late Thursday night, worshipping the devil, black masses, all that sort of good stuff.
Oh yeah, you've got to keep it up.
Yeah, you have to. Do you know what I mean? You've got to keep your reputation going.
That's it. Well, man, From the Very Depths is the first album in 4 years from the band, and it was definitely worth the wait. You know, it's been out for about a month now. Which tracks have been getting the best responses from the fans?
Well, Longhead Punks, which was the first song that came out on the glorious thing that is called YouTube, that's been getting a lot of hits and stuff like that. So people were gravitating to that. I think it was a good starting song because it was your atypical Venom song, full of snot and punkness. But yeah, Grinding Teeth. And the title track, yeah, but a lot of the songs, the one that's probably getting the most praise is Smoke, which is, I think, is the surprise track on the album because it's very doomy and it's probably an avenue of metal that Venom's touched upon in the past but never fully developed, you know. So I think Smoke's probably getting the viewers' vote at the minute.
It's a good track, man. How did that one come about? Was that something that just started with a riff with that one, or did you set out?
Yeah. I mean, that's probably how this album worked out. On the last album, Fallen Angels, it was sort of each person would come in with different tracks, and we would work on the tracks together. But on this one, it was all jam tracks. It was all the band did everything together. We did what Deep Purple and Led Zeppelin used to do in the 70s. We just got in a room together, cranked up the amps and just jammed until we got sick, until our fingers bled and our ears bled. That's how the album came out. We just tried a different tact. This is a very live band. It's a band that likes working together. I mean, we rehearse every week, so we just wanted to bring a little bit of the essence of that out into the music. That's probably why it took a little bit longer than usual. We just wanted to try something different and just see a different aspect of Venom, try and make it a little bit more stronger and a little more cohesive. But yeah, it was all jam on this album. That's how it seemed to work. It started off like that and we just thought we'd run with it.
It's funny, man, that, you know, a lot of bands these days, they do it a bit backwards. There's not many bands that jam. They write at home and then they'll record their demos on their computers and then learn the songs when they're done. So yeah, I like the idea that you guys jammed it out.
Yeah, that's what you came to band for, to get in the room with 3 or 4 other people who are like-minded and just try and come up with something awesome, you know, in basic terms. And that's why I started. And that was all the bands that I got into in the 70s. That's what we were into, do you know what I mean? And that's what everybody in the band's into. Dante he loves these 70s bands, and you know, Kronos is into Rush and stuff like that. So he's been really pumped about it because it's what he's wanted to do with band members for years, but never really been able to do. And with this lineup, we love jamming and just kicking back and just cranking the tunes, you know.
That's what it should be about, man. Yeah, about getting into a room with your mates and just connecting, man. Because like when you connect through music, man, it's like a whole nother level of communication, you know. And I think some bands are starting to lose that.
Money can't pay for it, you know what I mean? When you come up with magic like that, well, everybody's got to be happy in the band, you know. There is some bands where people don't write songs and stuff, and that's fine, but that's not what I'm into, you know. That's what I wanted to do, and I realised I wasn't going to do a big virtuoso on guitar. I wanted to be a really good songwriter, you know. And if I was in a band where I couldn't write songs, it would just get boring for me. But yeah, that's what it's all about, man. Just making a racket and just causing trouble, you know.
It's what it should be about, man. And you got to keep doing it. So, were there many tracks that didn't make the final sessions that might be aside for B-sides or future releases? Since you jammed out, you probably pumped out so many songs.
Yeah, there was a couple of things. What normally happened if something wasn't working, we just left it alone, and then what we found is we could sort of take bits of it and put it into different songs. So they all got stripped down and they turned into something else. But there wasn't I don't think there was anything that was majorly left over. There was about 3 or 4 tracks off the last album, and you always, when you do an album, you go, I'll keep that for the next one, but then you never do, because you come up with fresh ideas and you just sort of run with that. But we've got loads of bits and pieces lying around in that. There's probably the jam tracks that we did, some of them were 10 minutes long and some of them were for about 2 hours. And there was some great stuff on that, but there was also some stuff that was wrong, and that if people heard it, they would think you were wrong and wouldn't want to be anywhere near you. Anyway. They're the tracks you bright people with.
That's awesome, man. All right, we're going to go to the track The Death of Rock and Roll, and we'll be back very soon with LaRage from Venom on Rabid Noise. Welcome back to the show. We're here chatting to LaRage from the legendary Venom now. Now, Venom had been around for 36 years or so, and you joined back in, I believe, 2007. Is that right?
Yeah.
It's been a while, man. So you've been in the band for a while, but I've always been curious to the situation from your point of view when new members are recruited for an established band. Like, what's that process like going in for that? Did you know the guys, or did you know all the material prior to that, or did you have to learn a set number of songs?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't help but know it was Venom. They only lived like 10 miles away from me, and they were one of the pivotal bands personally, because when I was growing up in the 80s and all that, in bands, you were always told by the unbelievers that you couldn't make it because you didn't come from London, and that's where all the bands come from, and that's where the companies come from. But here was Venom. They were going on work tours and recording albums and causing mayhem, and they were like from Newcastle, where I was from. So that was a big plus. Like, if anyone came up to you, just give them the middle finger, and says, Venom can do it, so can we. So they were very pivotal in the 80s for me for that. But yeah, it was weird. I was helping them out to start with, because the guy who I replaced was from America, and obviously he couldn't get over here all the time. So I was just helping them out because I knew the previous drummer through some friends, and they knew that, trust me, I wasn't going to start a blab and go on the internet and say, I'm playing in Venom and stuff like that. So I was just helping them out, and they told me to learn 6 songs, so I learned 18. You do. So I had no pressure. There was absolutely zero pressure for me, just helping them out, cool, having a good laugh. And then about 3 months in, I realised that it wasn't going to work out with the last guitarist, so I was asked to join them. So it was dead easy for me to come in. They already knew what an asshole I was. They knew all my bad points and stuff like that, so that was that. We got that out of the way straight away. But no, I think the big plus for me was Dante joining the band, to tell the truth. I knew about him through a roadie that I used to work with, because I was a big Black Sabbath fan, big Tony Martin fan. In passing conversation, I was asking what Tony Martin was doing, and this guy told me and told us about the drummer he was working with, who was Dante. So when the drum spot came up, he was one of the first people off my lips, do you know what I mean? I just knew he was the guy who was going to work, because he had the vibe, and he had the chops, man, and he was everything that I thought he was, times by 666%. He's just amazing. He just really lifted the band. It was a final piece of the jigsaw that we've been looking for, probably what Kronos has been looking for years, do you know? I mean, he's just super happy with his lineup, because we all get on together and we're all here to make the band last for another 10, 20 years. We're not in it for money or fame or fortune. That stuff comes along, that's nice, but it's all about the metal, Might sound a little bit cliched and stuff like that, but that's what it's all about with us, It's got to be about the metal.
Well, that's it, man. And I've heard a lot of interviews recently with Coroner saying that, you know, you guys are such a tight unit, you know, and you're such a
yeah, man.
You know, and that's exactly what you want. There's bands out there that have been doing it for that many years, and they're the opposite, man. It's like they've lost that connection.
Yeah, people just go. I think some people just go through life and they find new, different wants and different loves, and that sort of like splits them apart. You know what I mean? And it doesn't help when a lot of these bands don't live in the same countries and stuff like that, and they seem to only get together to do an album or like that, where we just get together, you know, just to talk absolute BS. You know, sometimes we go to rehearsals and do a play, we just chat about rubbish. We've all got the same sort of, I don't know, the same sort of like, same outlook in life and the same sort of loves and the same sort of comedy and the same sort of programs and all that, and the same sort of music and everything like that. And that just makes it just tighter, you know, and it just makes it better. And you've got to get on with the people that you're in the band with, you know. I mean, this band has been renowned for years of like having friction and turmoil and stuff like that, which is good in one respect, but that's not this lineup, you know what I mean? This lineup's in it to win it.
Yeah, it sounds like things are going so well for you guys. Such an amazing thing, and you know, in the hopes that, you know, we see you guys down here as well. Finally, you know, you got plans?
Yeah. I mean, we were close a couple of years ago to getting down, but something went funky with the promoter. And then last year we were supposed to play Japan with Morbid Angel, and Morbid Angel, I think, were coming over to Australia, so we were going to talk about getting some dates. And then the Japan Fest got cancelled, so we couldn't make it over that side. But no, we're talking about Japan this year, so hopefully we'll get some Australian dates. It's somewhere we would love to go. It literally is the final frontier for us. We've been for the past few years trying to get to places that we've never been before. You know, in some places that where kids have never had, you know, a really good metal band over. And just Australia seems to be, I mean, the band's been to Japan before. I've never been to Japan with a band. That's my next one. But yeah, Australia. I mean, we've got, like I say, we've got family over there, and we've got a lot of fans over there that we want to get over. But we're just worried once we come over, you can't get rid of us. It'd be like some sort of parasitic leech that just stays in your country, and it will turn the whole place into some sort of Mad Max scene. It's like you want Venom over, right? We're here, and we're not going to go in. Nev will have to stay in your house, and like after about 2 years, you will get sick of it.
That's all right. That's okay. That's all right. I've got a 4-bedroom place. As long as you
keep in the closet somewhere. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you in the closet and you bring like friends and stuff like that, and you go watch this, and just open the door, and you just start playing, and then you shut the door, and it'll just be silent. Venom in the closet.
Yeah, well, I mean, can you just get me a beer out of the fridge? It's Venom.
yeah, like that. You just hand it. There'll just be a beer handed to you while some satanic overture is being bashed out. But I think you probably after about 2 years, it'll start to get a bit smelly and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like 2 years old, like grill or something like that. You'd be like, lads, you've overstayed development. You need to leave the country.
No, it's all right. You know, my wife, you know, she'd probably get you to do some chores. She gets me to do them.
You know what I mean? I married you for you, Ned, but you'd never said that I would have to put up with a 3-piece black metal band.
No, I reckon she'd be cool. I'll just tell her.
Yeah.
Venom's coming to stay over. And she'll go, yep, no worries. Just don't mess up the house.
For the rest of their lives.
Yeah. They're not leaving. So apart from you know, Japan and hopefully Australia, what's next for Venom?
We're in Germany in May, at playing the Rock Hard Festival, which has been a great magazine over in Europe for years and years. And it's been one of the festivals that we've always seen just a miss. We've always been tied up, but we're going to hit it this year. And then we're off to Hellfest in France, and Tons of Rock in Norway, back to Germany for Summer Breeze, and then we've got 1 or 2 other festivals that we're just about to confirm. I think one's in Belgium, and then we've got one in Spain to confirm. But yeah, we'll be hitting the festivals and then back to South America later on in the year.